Hello, my name is Chanel, and on this channel, I tend to talk about the deeper patterns within ourselves and reality. Today, we're going to talk about the configuration that is currently the astrological configuration that is currently going on in the sky, which is really quite fascinating. I will be looking at it from a more mundane perspective, which means that I'm looking at it from a more macro level or civilizational level instead of natal or personal level. This will most likely be multiple videos over time because there's really a lot to say here, and one short video won't be able to say it all. I have a background, I'm a PhD in water economics and economic development, so I like viewing things from a civilizational level and not just a personal level. And I also have an interest in esoteric topics. So I like to view things from a more holistic and esoteric way and look at things from a very deep perspective. And I like to view what's going on underneath everything that we see. So everything I'm going to talk about is an expression of what I see going on in the astrology and the patterns that I'm seeing. And there's also multiple potentials even within each configuration. So the configuration I'm going to talk about, there's multiple potentials within that depending on what consciousness level people are at. So many people could be experiencing different types of things depending on that. I will be looking at it from a technology perspective, spiritual perspective, economics, political, art, and culture. And I won't mention everything, like I said, in just one video, and probably I will release more videos over time related to this topic. So we currently have a conjunction of Neptune and Saturn that is going on right now, and it's been going on for some time, but it's going to be at its prime during February 14th all the way up until February 22nd. And this conjunction happens every 35 to 36 years. And it's happening in Aries right now. And the way that these conjunctions work is that they happen and the energies from this conjunction unfold over the 36 years. But they start right now. What makes this configuration and this conjunction special, though, is that it's part of a harmonic triangle. And the conjunction of Neptune and Saturn is sextile Pluto in Aquarius and also sextile Uranus in Taurus at the moment, but it's going to move into Gemini. And Uranus and Pluto are trying each other, so it makes this triangle. This kind of configuration is unique for this moment, and every few years there's a new conjunction or something new happening. And what makes this interesting is that it creates this tapestry that tells the human story at the moment or across time, and it's almost like waves of karma that is expressed in the civilization. This configuration has a very revolutionary energy to it, and it's about resetting people's worldviews, and there tends to be a lot of cultural transition during these types of conjunctions, and especially with this harmonic triangle. There might be some chaos in transition because there's always some chaos during change, but this type of chaos that we have going on and this type of configuration leads to more of a constructive growth than a destructive type of result. And what I mean by a constructive instead of a destructive result is constructive in the sense that this is evolutionary and moving humanity forward in a different direction, whether that's perceived as good or bad. So there's going to be paradigm shifts and there's some type of relaunching of civilization in some way. There is a lot of air and fire in this configuration, which is really quite interesting because the way that it's set up is that the air is feeding the fire. So you have Pluto in Aquarius, and then you have Uranus that's going to be in Gemini soon, that is going to be feeding the fire in Aries, which is really quite interesting. Also, additionally, if you look at this year and we look a little bit at Chinese astrology, this is the fire year of the horse, which adds to that passion, that spirit, and that bravery, and then that kind of revolutionary spirit. All these energies are adding to this very interesting, passionate energy. Also, I wanted to add that we're talking about this configuration is more on a global level and looking at humanity as a whole. And I'm not applying this to particular countries. We would have to compare what's currently going on to the individual countries and do mundane astrology in that way to see what might happen in individual countries. And also, this can vary person by person. So, this can vary country by country and how this is expressed, and it can vary person by person. I also wanted to emphasize that what's going on with the planets are just reflecting what is going on here, and the planets aren't doing it to us. It is more reflecting divine timing and reflecting what is already happening here. I've looked at and studied quite a few configurations throughout history, and this current configuration that we have going on is most similar to what was happening during the American Revolution, in addition to the rise of the printing press and the Renaissance. Those are the ones that were the most similar. So if you can think about it, they're not exactly the same. No configuration is exactly the same, but it's going to be most similar to these kinds of energies. There's going to be a dissolution of beliefs and illusions, and there might be some confusion before there is restructuring. And because of this confusion and maybe fog around what's going on, we need to be careful with also gaslighting. This will be a rise of us getting in touch with our raw instincts and also our intuition, and getting in touch with our personal instincts instead of artificial layers. I'm going to start with technology and the spiritual categories, and then I'm going to move into the other categories, which might move into different videos. The way that I see it is that everything is sprouting from the spiritual and the technological changes that are happening, so that's why I want to start there. So I'm going to end this video right now, and I'm going to continue into the second part in the next time. If you're interested in this video, then like this video and subscribe to my channel. I'm a polymath, and this channel explores the different esoteric aspects of ourselves and our reality through the lens of different topics. I help people to self-actualize and embody the best and highest version of themselves. So if you're interested in my astrological readings or any of the other services, my website is in the description below and also on the YouTube channel. Thank you for watching, and continue with me into part 2.